Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hang with Drummer Boy Jones. And tonight I want to do my first reaction video. And as you can tell by my attire, I'm a NASCAR guy. I love NASCAR. Dale Sr. was my favorite driver ever. Dale Jr. Then of course I went to Kevin Harvick when Dale passed away. But so I want to talk about the good old days of NASCAR, which I still watch NASCAR and I enjoy NASCAR. But, you know, the good old days was the good old days, you know. And when we lost Dale in 2001 at the Daytona 500, our world changed. I want to do a reaction video to one of the greatest moments to me in NASCAR history. And that's the Daytona 400, the Firecracker 400, I guess it was. It was always on, you know, July 4th weekend, which NASCAR, you should go back and do that. Why you took away the night race on July the 4th at Daytona makes no sense to me, but, you know, whatever. But when Dale Jr. won in 2001, coming back to the track that took the life of his father. So we're going to do a reaction video to that right after this. So this is, you know, like, I don't know how many laps is left here. 10 or 12 laps, something like that. They're on a caution. And like I said earlier before, you know, this was, you know, we lost Dale at the Daytona 500 in February. And then the second race after that was at Rockingham. Rockingham produced a winner of the DI camp, Steve Park. I loved Steve Park. Steve Park was my favorite driver with Dale before Junior started, but I still loved Steve Park. And of course, Mikey won the Daytona 500. And I've got a signed car of Mikey right there, Daytona 500 winner. And I always liked Mikey too. Mikey had a great story. If you've not seen his movie, I'll put the title in here. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a great movie. You know, pulls the heartstrings. And then the fourth race of the year, Kevin Harvick won in the white Goodwrench 29 car at Atlanta. One of the closest, most thrilling finishes ever. But yeah, so there was three things, you know, that sort of, or at least two, that started to bring us back after Dale passed away. But this is what brought everybody back and brought everybody to tears. So as you can see right there, Dale's coming up through the field. You know, I think he started sixth or something like that, and he's done moved up to fourth. You know, and man, he was hauling. Oh my gosh, was he hauling. And look, he's moving to the outside. You know, he's going to the outside. That's so cool. Man, that car is a rocket ship. Yeah, they said it's probably illegal. Who cares? I don't care. It was a hell of a story. Look at that bud and that skull and crossbones. That's so badass. Oh, it's so good. And I remember this was on my birthday. My birthday was July the 7th. And we'd always get together. We'd have a big cookout, watch the race. Why NASCAR got away from July, but I have no idea. Look at him jumping to the outside right here. Here he goes. Here he goes. Look at that bump. I mean, look at that chaos behind him. Look who's sneaking up. So Junior just took the lead. And you can't really see it right there, but Mikey's coming. Michael Waltrip's coming. Right now he's running about sixth or something like that. But look, man, and the crowd's going crazy. I was going crazy. Had tears in my eyes. You know, I might turn the volume up just a little bit where you can hear just a little bit of the broadcast, but I don't want to get, you know, censored or whatever. But there he comes. Here comes Bobby Labonte in the 18. And then best I remember, like I said, I'm watching this with the volume down, but Tony Stewart's on the 20 on the outside. But here comes Look who's there in the third spot. Michael Waltrip's done up to the third. And, if you remember the Daytona 500, Dale Jr. pushed Mikey to the win. And so it's fitting to see those cars back up there. Mikey's trying to get around Labonte, man. He's trying. That's so cool. So cool. Mikey's going to make a run here in a minute. Oh, there he goes. I think he just jumped down. No, Bobby, come back down to the aisle. Ward Burton up on top trying to come through. You just had to be there. You just had to be there. Not there, but watching it live and with everything that went on. I mean, Dale Jr. is not going to give up this lead. He's making that racetrack wide, man. That's so awesome. I love it at night, too. You see the sparks fly. It's so awesome. There he went. Mikey jumped out. Right there is when I knew it was game over. Mikey's going to latch on the back of Dale Jr., and nobody's going to beat those DEI cars. There they go, crossing the finish line. 1 lap to go, I believe. Yes, 1 lap to go. At first I was like, well, Mikey's probably going to try to win the race because he wants to win. Because his last win, it was his first win ever after 400 and something races or whatever it was. And he wants to celebrate. But then I just seen, you can see the gap right there. Labonte's still trying to get up there, but them two's just, no, it's not going to happen. And, I was jumping up and down. We was all in our living room, just jumping up and down. Go, go, go. Look at all those crowd. Man, that crowd is so big. It's huge back in the day, NASCAR. And there's the checkered flag. Mikey was just blocking, sort of like Dale was doing the last race. Look, that's so awesome. That's so cool. Tony Jr. or Tony Sr., which is Dale's uncle, was his crew chief. It's just, it was a magical night. Magical night. To me, this brought the NASCAR community back, out of sadness. And like I said, Steve Park winning, Harvick had done one, so we was getting glimpses, but everybody wanted Dale Jr., and there's Tony Jr. was just there. That's Tony's senior son. That's Dale's cousin. Look at that, man. Can you imagine what that feels like? It's just amazing. They're going to talk to Tony Sr. He talks how everybody loves that kid. And man, at that time, if you was a Dale Sr. fan, you loved that kid. Now, I sort of jumped off the Dale Jr. bandwagon when he went to Hendrick, because I just sort of kept, when I say jumped off, I always loved Dale Jr., and I love what he does for the sport now, and I love following him. But I still was partial to the RCR, that's partial. Look, there comes Mikey. That right there is when I lost it. Look, you can see Chocolate Myers. He's the first one. That's Dale Jr.'s or Dale Sr.'s gas man, and had been for years. He watched Dale Jr. grow up. He is the first one out there. Story about Chocolate Myers. He took me and my dad around the Indy 500 or the Brickyard. Took us around in a van. Of all things, with Leonard Skinner. Me and my dad and 3 members of Leonard Skinner was in a van going around, and we sat in Dale Sr.'s pit that day, of course. But look, there's Mikey. He's getting up there. He's celebrating too, because he didn't get a chance to celebrate in February. He just didn't. And look, there comes Dale Jr. That's when I lost it. look at them on top of the cars. It's just, it's amazing. I mean, I get cold chills right now just thinking about it. It's one of the greatest moments in sports, especially if you're a NASCAR guy. One of the greatest moments in sports. And like I said, cold chills right now. Mikey celebrating. Junior jumping off doing the rock star plunge. Doing a stage dive off the top of his car. Love it. So love it. There's some Pennzoil guys. Because I think Steve Park had crashed out earlier in the race. I'm pretty sure he did. I can't remember right off the bat, but I'm pretty sure he did. There he's talking with with Tony Sr. He's getting back in the car. He's fixing to go to victory lane. But is that just cool? I hope you guys, I know you guys tune in for music and stuff, but I like doing stuff like this too. And, Junior giving Tony Sr. a big hug. And you have to just think, 5 months earlier, Mikey was there, but Dale had died, and it was sad. It was awful. I cried like a baby. And, there they are interviewing him, talking about, I think they tried to nudge him to talk about his dad more than he really wanted to, myself. He's all about, look, family, all of that. But he does. He dedicates the race to Dale, to his dad. And but in the moment right there, man, he's just happy for the, happy he won the race. And it brought closure to all of us Earnhardt fans. I mean, I got a Dale Earnhardt, and I got this number 3 tattoo. Dale was my hero growing up. I got a bunch of heroes, don't I? I can always talk about my heroes, but I did have a bunch. Dale and Dan Marino, and sports-wise, Dale, Dan Marino, and of course Rocky and Stallone and all this. But I love NASCAR, and I still love NASCAR. I just wish there was a few more, and I think there is. I know a lot of people don't like Hocevar. I like Hocevar because he reminds me of Dale. He'll put that car wherever he wants to, and he'll wreck whoever he needs to. I like that. After Dale died, Harvick was a hothead, man, and I like that. I like when they wear their emotions on their sleeve and, get into a fight or whatever. But that's all I wanted to do. I just thought I'd do my first reaction video, see what happens. If you're a NASCAR guy, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're, tuned to my channel for music and stuff, maybe I introduced you to something. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe, and if you don't care, that's perfectly fine because I get it. I get it. A lot of people don't like NASCAR, and that's fine. But personally, I do. I love it. And thank you guys for watching, hanging out, and, hanging with me while I do this little experiment. And I appreciate it. And like I always try to say, guys, and thank you so much for the comments that you guys have been posting. The Faster Pussycat video I put up, man, you guys are wearing the comments out, and I love it. And I'm trying to answer all of them. I still hadn't got to all of them, but I'm going to. And don't be a dick. Love one another, respect one another, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.